slapping him. Then the boy tried to run away after the beating was like beating a child so long. The child tried to run away, and the teacher pulled him back, only for this child to fall and he hit his head somewhere. And it led to internal bleeding. One thing led to another. The boy was in the hospital for days before he finally died. Now, instead of this school, and this school is owned by a church, instead of this school to find, like, prosecute who has committed this offense, they go the line of peace, and we start hearing things like the this teacher or this body came to the house of the parents of this boy and pleaded for peace. PEACE. When a child has died, peace. They pleaded for peace, and the family accepted and buried him. I really do not know how to how to process this story. Now, the family, the body, the church gave this family 200,000 naira to forget the case, pleaded for mercy. Everybody should move on, and all is well. I really do not know how to react to this story because I do not have a child of my own yet. Fine, but I have siblings. I have children that I see around. Like, I adore them. But we've seen cases whereby teachers will beat. There's this other story that is even currently trending. I've been seeing it everywhere on the internet too. Of vice president. I've seen that picture. When I saw that picture, I said, "What is this? If you know you cannot correct a child with love, leave the child. Note, or call the parent to come to the school to address their child. I see no reason why you should just go overboard because you are trying to. There's a thin line between correction and wickedness. There's a very, very thin line, because sometimes when you think you are correcting somebody, you are just being mean. You are just being wicked for no reason, Bookie.
Okay, there are so many dimensions to this story this morning. But you have the right to take your decisions, and you know what your decisions um is. Let me use that word. Why did I say so? This particular story that we are discussing, the family has taken their decision based on their belief, and that was why they said, you know what, this our belief system, this our faith system. Okay, we don't want to do anything. Let's just leave it. I know there will have been a lot of pleading and all that, and the way they revere, such priests, the way they refer such priests. So it's a decision they have taken. They did not involve the police, because I know if they had involved the police, or maybe a human rights activist will have had that story and all that, as at that point in time, I'm sure they would have done this. But why are we hearing this now? It's because somebody, a member of the family, put it on the social media. So the issue is that, well, they have taken their decision, but is it a very good decision? I think it is not, because we need to ask, we need to let people know the consequence of their action.
Yes.
Because I understand that this teacher normally beats
This boy.
If he writes slow, he beats.
Like,
if he writes fast, he beats.
the trauma for that child to go to school every
you
day.
understand? And the lesson there, which that the writer of that story says that no, parents should always listen. Listen attentively, hear what they are saying, though they might not put it out there, but behind the words, that if they keep complaining about this particular teacher, then it's time for you to go and investigate. I remember a story that happened to my son when he was in secondary school. I won't mention the name. I won't even mention the state. We got to school that day, and we found out that his eyeglasses had been broken.
Okay.
And really, he didn't even want to tell us, But he has a sister in that school. So it was like, okay, where's your eyeglasses and all that? It was the sister that said, don't mind him. He does not want to talk because he knows what the father will do.
Okay.
Said, okay, what happened? oh, there was something. He did something. I can't remember what he did. I mean, yes, he should have been disciplined, but out of anger,
Mm,
you mentioned correction and wickedness.
mm,
It was tilting towards wickedness.
okay.
So the way the man, you know, handled him, beat him, you know, he was still in pains to the extent that the
Mm-mm,
big slap that he gave him on by the face,
mm,
and this is somebody using glasses, you know, the frames was damaged. One of the glasses was broken, so you can imagine the impact, you know, the guy had. Of course, trust the father of the boy. He didn't take it lightly. In
I
fact,
won't.
there and then he said he was
Mhm,
going to arrest, was going to call the police, you know, to arrest the matter. It was a big issue, you know. But I thank the way the principal handled that case at that time.
okay.
You know, they summoned him. They summoned him. They did not say, okay, you know, blah 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 blah. They realized the fact that he went far, so they summoned him. There was a disciplinary committee. They summoned him and they cautioned him. You know, though we intervened that it's not an issue of the police. Thank God nothing happened, you know, to the eye and all that. But it
Okay.
was a lesson. But the
Mm,
mere fact that he was summoned, I mean, he went through disciplinary action. I mean, and I know that he will dare not do that, you know, and he was actually sorry, you know, he was very, very apologetic, you know, and all that. So, but the the outcome of that,
okay.
a lot of students confirmed that, oh, that man has sobered now. You know, that
Mm,
man has sobered now. So it did affect. So, but like I said, people take decisions, but the most important thing is there is a life attached to this decision of yours.
mm,
Can people learn from that? And I think in driving the point home is that let us talk to principals,
school
owners of
owners.
schools,
Mm,
headmasters, headmistress, whatever it is. Once you are in that position of authority, that teachers are in your care,
mm-hmm.
listen, observe, see what is happening, and ensure that when you begin to see these traces of a teacher
You address it.
moving outside of correction to wickedness, to evil, and all that, you should step in immediately.
Mm.
If that teacher has to go home, if that teacher has to be suspended, if that teacher has to
Something
be,
just has to
I
be
mean,
done.
fired, you've got to do it. Because I know that by the time people begin to investigate this story,
Yeah.
a lot of people will begin to point to that
So
teacher.
many other even students
You
will even come out to
understand?
speak.
So,
Yes.
do you want to wait for another death? So that's, and then let us also talk to the teachers.
Mm,
If you know you are angry, there's a whole lot of stress happening. A
yes.
lot of teachers, not all the teachers see it as a calling, see it at what they want to do.
Do.
Out
Mm,
of frustration because there is nothing to do, they pick up that job. But you see, their body constituents will not, it doesn't align with the calling of a teacher. Because as a teacher, you are like a mother figure. You know, you are there. Yes, you
yes.
will inculcate discipline, but you will know how to balance it by
Mm-hmm.
counseling, by doing this, by doing this. Most of the children, the pupils are children. So at times, when if they are writing slow, somebody who writes fast and today is writing slow, you should know that there is something wrong with that
That
child.
child.
That is not the time for you to beat that child, to the extent that you are slapping. I mean, he ran away, you went to hold him, and then he fell. And no, 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 no. It's not it. So if
It
you
is
know
not.
that you cannot control your anger, then you are in a wrong profession. Leave that teaching because you cannot have somebody dying in your hand or dead in your hand.
I think like teachers need to go on regular training. So I just remembered a certain issue that happened like back in primary school. So I had this seatmate who used to write with her left hand. And I remember then our teacher would beat her so much.
Mm,
The teacher would beat that hand so much that the
mm,
hand will swell.
yeah,
She won't be able to write. And the teacher just wanted her to write with the right hand.
yeah, knowledge. It affected, I
At,
mean, not affected me. I had that experience, yeah.
at first, when the teacher started beating her at first for always writing with the left, I thought there was something wrong with using the left hand. And for what I know, when you want to give people things with the left hand,
Absolutely. Our culture. Yeah.
they'll quickly beat your hand off and
Yeah.
be like, no, use the right hand.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe there was something wrong with the left hand. I just looked at it that way. But this teacher would just continually beat this girl. I still remember her name, Shay, for me. He will beat her so much that whenever it's time to write, she will just start jittering
Yeah.
because she doesn't know what to do. She
Yeah.
doesn't know if she should use the right because she can't use it
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Then the left she can use too. She's just there.
Yeah.
Then one day she was telling me that she won't come to school again.
Yeah.
I told her
She
to
has been
tell her I
traumatized.
told her to tell her mom about it first, that she should speak to her mom. Then even now as an adult, I'm just thinking about it. All of the times that she will come home with her hand swollen, didn't the mother say it? Because like this teacher will beat her so bad that this hand will swell. Because you know when you keep beating a child on that same hand.
You see, we cannot say, we can only assume that the mom also probably had that same mindset that why are
Maybe.
you using the left?
Maybe.
You understand? Because years back, a lot of us were not aware of the fact that some people, by the nature of how their brain formation
Mm-hmm.
is, you use the left. Let's face it. But thank God that there is a lot of information outside
Now.
there. You know that, in fact, you not being able to catch figures, to catch numbers, to catch alphabets, you know, back then is an issue that you cannot read go.
Meanwhile, there's
You
something wrong with the
understand? They will
child.
say you are an do and blah blah blah.
Like so
But
many hurtful
thank God
words.
for information now that we know that there are quite a lot of issues, with the brain formation and things like that. So I can say that a lot of teachers are aware of that and they're doing a lot to train teachers. But back then it was an issue. I had that experience with one of my children too, started writing with the left, and we beat sense out of our
Oh,
you
poor
know,
child.
pure ignorance. Pure ignorance. But you see, this is not the era of ignorance now. Back then, I'm talking about 30 years, and all that. We didn't have so much information, no internet, whatever it is. But
That
now
they
at
have
the
now.
touch of the button, you can always get, when you observe something, you can easily go there to say, oh, I observe this, what it is,
This,
you
what can it be?
understand? So we don't have any excuse now, we don't have any excuse now. Seek help. Observe and investigate what is the issue. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Buki. It's 28 minutes to 10 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7. This is Panorama. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. My name is Esther Laribe, and I've been speaking with Buki Femi Ajala. You can be a part of the conversation by calling us on 07000 or 090 You can also send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. So we have there's this comment here, and the comment says, parents are the reasons why our young girls and boys are into lots of social vices they do these days. The truth is, if anyone is to be blamed for the killing of the young girls by the young boys, are the parents. The parents are to be blamed. Over the years, parents have failed to bring up young boys and girls in the right way. Today, you see increase in all of these social vices. Some of you blame it on the government's inability to provide jobs for the youth, but you have also failed to understand that there is no way the government will provide jobs for all Nigerians. Majority of our parents are the one pushing our young boys and girls into the social vices. I also do understand that there are peer pressure, but you see, when you're properly trained with the fear of God, no matter the pressure, there are some things that you would not do. Buki, what are your thoughts on this comment?
You see, it's an issue of perception and reality. It's an issue of, what are you saying? Are you saying 6? Are you saying 9?
Okay.
But we need to balance it up. Nation building from our own, how do I put it? From our own sphere of knowledge,
Okay.
has to do with family, has to do with government, has to do with media, has to do with entertainment, has to do with education, has to do with religion.
Okay.
And of course, has to do with economy. That's the 7 critical sectors that make up the nation, when you talk about you want to build the
The
nation.
nation.
So I want to use that also as a template. The first basic basic sector
Mm.
that a life enters is the family.
Yes.
So the foundation is critical. If you give that life a good foundation,
Okay.
that life will be able to build on it.
Mm.
Now, I am coming from the perspective of someone who understands what the Bible says. And I also know that most of the religion, I'm yet to see a religion that
Okay.
will counter that.
Mm.
But this is what the Bible says. It says, train up a child in the way he. I want people to understand that. Train up a child in the way he should go.
Mm.
It's loaded. So if you want your child to become a vagabond, train. If you want your child to be somebody who can take healthy decision at
Okay.
any point in time in his life or her life, you start training.
Okay.
And that is where a lot of us miss it. We train them on some aspects, but we don't train them on critical thinking skills. We don't train them on decision making skills. We don't train them on time management skills. I mean, life skills, we do not, but we make sure we train them on, okay, you've got to be honest. You should not steal. You should not
Mm.
do this.
Mm.
You should not do that, and blah, blah, blah. What about decision making skills? Because when you get to a point, mommy and daddy will not be there. You will have to face it. You will have to
On your own.
decide.
Mm.
And that is where peer pressure comes. You understand? I
Okay.
remember I remember a case about myself when I was in the university. I was going well, not going out.
Okay.
I was in close contact. I had a very good friend. We were always going to lectures together and things like that and things like that. Somewhere along the line, I mean, she had a boyfriend who was
Okay.
married, you know.
Mm.
And for me, where I was coming from was a no, no,
No.
no, 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 no. So somewhere, because we were always going out together, we go for lectures together,
Mm.
and things like that. We were even doing project together. I can't remember. Yes, I think we did, because we were very, very close.
Close.
Almost all the time, we were always there. So when this guy comes, of course, students will go out, to take suya and all that. And all that was
Yes.
all we know how to do as at that time. Take suya and take drinks and come back and over. So gradually I noticed that he was now introducing somebody else, to me. I mean,
Okay.
and I said, you know what? This man is married. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to challenge him one day. I said, what are you doing? You want me to go out with you? You are a married woman. You're a
Married
married
man.
man.
Mm.
I would not want my husband to do that.
Okay.
And because of that, now that's decision making skills. I
Mm.
was able to decide to say, hey,
This is what
and
I
why? It
want.
was because I was able to get one or two things from where I was coming from,
Okay.
that you make decisions
Mm.
and your decision stays with you. So what am I saying now? I'm not saying, oh, the parents that have trained their children and the children, you know,
Maybe
came
went
out
astray or
in
something.
another
Mm.
way,
Mm.
I blame you. No, I do not blame you. I'm only saying way forward. Let's look at it. All these
Okay.
life skills,
Mm.
that will make them, to be a better person. Can we
Mm.
begin to intentionally and to be deliberate about it
About
in
it.
terms of decision making? There are times that you allow that child to take a decision.
Mm. Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Not when as a baby, but when you begin to see that he can reason.
Mm.
I mean, allow him to take a decision so that you can teach him that whatever decision you make, you should live by the consequences. You understand?
Mm.
And then also, I totally agree that there are some people that were well trained, and when
Okay.
they get into an environment,
Mm.
peer pressure comes in. I know peer pressure, but that also depends on the foundation you have. You
Okay.
understand? But
Mm.
I know it deals a lot with the children.
Mm.
And then of course, that is where you now come into, hey, who are your friends? I remember very well what our own parents and our aunties, in fact, there was a particular auntie,
Okay.
she will tell you that, hmm, show me your friends and I will tell you who you are.
Mm.
Then we really didn't understand. But now it's making friends are thieves. Before you know what is happening,
You
you're
start
gonna, yeah,
stealing.
you understand? If all your friends are prostitutes, you understand?
Mm.
If all your friends are good people that love to go to the library, they read and
Mm.
all that. Because that also helped me when I was in the when I entered the tertiary.
Okay.
My first set of friends were people that were always going to parties.
Mm.
You understand?
Okay.
Oh, they were always going to parties. So somewhere along the line, I just found myself that Friday, Sunday, party. I had to say, hold on, in my prelim. I had to
Okay.
I had to halt,
Mm.
to say, excuse me, something is wrong somewhere. This is not me. Who are they making me to be? Of friends.
Friends. Mm.
And what did I do? I had of friends.
Okay.
So these are lessons that we should begin to give our children, at that formative years.
Okay.
But Esther, there are some who, no matter how you train them,
Hmm.
it's a decision. But you see, I know somewhere along the line, if you've listened to quite a lot of their stories,
Yes.
those that departed, somewhere along the line, they will come back to say, I now know, I'm now learning. But
Okay.
a lot of waters will have gone under the bridge. Must
Yeah.
you allow a lot of waters to go under the bridge? You understand? So we
Mm-hmm.
don't know who is listening here. We don't know which parent is listening. We
Mm.
don't know the youth that is listening. We don't know the teenager that is listening. Your decision matters. I always like to say that decision you make is within a second, is within 1 minute,
Mm-hmm.
but the consequences,
Might be for very, very
oh
long time.
yes,
Very,
like
very,
my
very long
auntie will
time.
say, in those days when we were teenagers, she would tell you 5 minutes enjoyment is everlasting. We didn't understand what she was saying.
You just say it and you
She would
keep
just say,
thinking about it.
5 minutes enjoyment is everlasting punishment. But later on, there was one day I said, break this thing down for us. Oh, she said, you people are teenagers, you
Okay.
are going into the university, you are doing this, you are doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and that. You can be lured into fornication and things like that, and
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. You say you are enjoying yourself, but the consequence,
Okay. Okay.
then it
Okay.
made a whole lot of sense.
Sense then.
To us.
All right. Thank you very much, Buki. To be a part of the conversation, call us up on 07000 or 090 256 25455. You can also send us a text or a WhatsApp message on 070 317 56537. We have this message here from Tina Imowe, and she says, on this particular case of this child beating in Onitsha, if it was to be my child, I really do not care religion or not, heads will roll. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I mean, it's a
This
decision of the family. Some will not take it lightly. Oh no, some will not.
hmm.
Yeah.
Charity Nikeja says, I really do not want to talk about this story because I don't want to imagine it. I will not be able to contain how I will react to this. Seems women are really, really talking on this one. I love to see the energy. There, this other one here, Agnes says, I am a mother of 4 children. I cannot even imagine losing a child to this kind of sorry story because I will not even listen to it at all. Hmm.
No, I mean that's the height of what religion has done. You know,
Hmm.
we will always say that religion is more like a bondage. It doesn't make you to think rightly.
Hmm.
You understand? I will not castigate the family, but I will say it's not it doesn't sit
You,
well
you
with me,
you
but
know,
they have taken their decision and there is nothing
let's
we
look
can
at it
do.
from another
We
angle
can't
too.
cry more than the bereaved.
Let's look at it from another angle. It's possible in the kind of community where they find themselves. It's possible the community is that kind of place where they hold like religion in high
That's what
esteem.
I'm
And
saying. That's
if
what
they
I'm
do not
saying.
accept the plea of
Oh
the
yes.
church, it's going to be a case of they spoke to you people now, they
Yes.
have pleaded with you
Yeah,
people.
no,
What's the
that's
big
it.
deal and all
That's
of that?
it. So that's what I'm saying. That at times it looks as if we we leave our brain outside the church. You understand?
Hmm.
So that's that. But I want to believe that if truly they know God, because your values, your actions, your
Mm.
decisions at any point in time
Yes.
has to do with your knowledge of God. That's the truth.
Okay.
If a lot of us know God the way we are supposed to know Him, this
Mm.
life will be better. So, what am I saying? I am talking to the so called priests, you know,
Mm.
that if they really know God, let them sit back and do what is right. Put things right in that school. Come up with a code of conduct. I'm not saying you should not beat. Oh, yes. I mean, children need a little bit of beating.
That's true. We're able
Do
to.
not cross the line.
There's a conversation on that we're going to be having on the big question at
Do not
12:15,
cross the line.
and
There is a thing, there is
we're
a thin
discussing
line.
traditional parenting or modern parenting,
Yeah.
because some people are of the opinion I will beat my own child when the child reacts in another way or something. Some people will say, please, please, for no reason, regardless of what the child has done, do not beat the child.
I come from a school of thought that you beat the child, but you beat the child with understanding,
Mm.
with a mind of correction,
Okay.
with a growth mindset. Let me use that, not with
Okay.
a fixed mindset. That you did this, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to punish you.
Mm.
A lot of us come from that angle that I'm going to punish you. No, but the beating is I'm going to use this, number one, to tell you that what you did was wrong.
Wrong. Mm.
And two, learn from it.
Okay.
Because even after beating, I remember when we were young,
Mm.
after they beat us,
Yes.
you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Either my,
Okay, let me pause it again.
yeah.
We have this call coming in. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I can hear you. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Ismail Abdullahi,
Good morning, Ismaila.
calling from Ishaga.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Yes.
So the topic today, I think you are talking about the teacher that beat a student and
Yes.
later the student died,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think my own point of view is the way I look at it is that one, we should look at the purpose of being punishing the student, because
Okay.
everything has a purpose. Was he doing it
Absolutely.
to correct him, or was he doing him as a kind of trying to victimize him? That is what we should look at sometimes, because we've seen a situation where parents himself beat a student and later get to coma. But daily advice I may give is that when a child has offended you and you are now seriously annoyed,
Okay.
don't, because nowadays when a child can provoke you to say, how can this child do this? As at that time, any kind of punishment as at that time. But when you are now settled, it has come to normal, then you can now say, come, you did this, why do you do it? Then the necessary punishment or correction will now be given. Because as at the time you are at the top of annoyance, and you are trying to react as at that time, what you don't want may happen, and then one will start regretting. Just like situation between husband and wife, get very annoyed, and the man raises his hand with everything he do, then he may not mean to kill her, or the woman mean to kill the man,
Something
but
else will
due
happen.
to the anger they had that time. It is a thing they normally tell us, in NASFAT, they will tell us when you are hungry, just take your clothes, go out,
Leave the
don't
house.
fight. Because when you are hungry, the sense has already gone. Your sense is no more with you when you are hungry. You can misbehave. Then after sometimes, you may now come back to say, am I the one that did this? People will now start, but this chairperson did this. But what you did now is even worse.
All right, thank
I
you
get
very
it.
much.
That is the only thing I want to teach people. When you are annoyed seriously and the two side that's affected, has offended, just ignore. Then
all right, thank you very much, Ismail. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Just
Absolutely,
ignore.
it said quite a lot,
Yeah.
which tallies with what I was trying to say.
Yes.
That modern day parenting, if I can use that, you beat with intentionality.
Okay.
You don't beat because, hey, you did this and I'm going to punish you
for it.
and angry. In fact, some people will say, when I'm really hungry, like he said, I will walk out. I will go and take a fresh air and come back. But my point is that when you want to beat, and let's know it, we need to know the age grab to beat.
Okay.
You cannot be beating a teenager. It's not possible. That means you did not do your job very well. You can't be beating a teenager. But there is an age band where you have to beat with intentionality. And like I was saying, what they were doing to us, which made a whole lot of sense to us, was that, okay, After beating, when this thing don't
You
come,
call the child back.
they will call us back. I didn't really like it.
I didn't like it too.
But it makes a whole lot of sense.
I didn't like it too. After beating me, they are trying to.
Oh yes,
what
it
are
makes
you
a
trying
whole lot
to
of
do?
sense. No, and then these are the questions they were asking us at that time. They will say, "Okay, do you know why I beat you?" They're asking us.
Those
So
questions.
you will now have to tell the person that, okay, it was because you told me not to go out and I went out. Okay. So you know that. So this beating of yours, was it necessary? Did you need it?
You see this particular question? I don't like answering because I'm going to be like.
But you see, they are going somewhere. Decision-making skills.
Okay.
Standing by your consequence of your decision. So you are thinking that, yes.
Imagine me saying, yes, the beating was necessary.
No, if it was not, then they will ask you a question that justify why.
What you've done.
And then they will now tell you that if they did not beat you, and you are saying that what you did was right, but meanwhile, they will now tell you that, I am your parent. I know what is right. I told you not to go out. The reason why I told you not to go out that time is this, but you went out. So if something had happened to you, what would, they are making you to begin to think. And then they'll now say, are you going to do it again? No, ma. And then they'll now tell you, if you do it again.
What will I do to you? What should I do to you?
That is engagement. But you see, a lot of us will just beat and we leave it like that.
True.
But let us know when to cross the line. Do not beat in such a way that you want to wound that person physically. I've seen some parents that they'll say, I will beat you. That your hand will cut, that your this will this. No, that is wrong. Why must you do that? So when you have excessive anger, know how to curtail yourself. Like somebody will say that when you are angry, do not do anything.
Yeah.
Just walk away. Come back when your head, because when you are angry, the truth about it is that you're not in control of your senses.
Yes. Thank you so much, Buki. Thank you so much. It has been a very, very interesting conversation. Thank you for joining me this morning on Panorama.
Thank you for having me as well. Thank you, listeners. Let's have a beautiful day.
Yes, I hope you have a great day.
Yeah. So if you are beating, beat with intentionality.
Yes, so don't go about beating children
and don't beat teenagers.
All right. Thank you so much, Buki.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yes. So this is where we call Panorama to a wrap today. Please, parents, please, when you discipline children, please know how to go about it. Know the kind of words to use, know the right words to use. And please, teachers, know where to draw the line between correction and wickedness, please. I did not send my child to school. That's not what I sent the child to school for, please. All right, join us again tomorrow on Panorama 9:15 a.m. Panorama is where we have the ladies from different geopolitical zones come together to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues. My name is Esther Alaribe. Up next is Radio Doctor. Do have a wonderful day.
To sponsor this program, call 7613.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
Hello, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities.